You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time for us to look at the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. And to make sense of this, I have my regulars. Dare Odufowokn is here, journalist. Thank you very much, Dare, for coming on the program.
Good morning, Mike.
Thank you. Good to see you. Great. And I also have joining me on Zoom, Ify Onyegbule, broadcast journalist. Ify, good morning. Okay. All right. We'll certainly hear your voice as we get along. Let's begin with this Nigeria. This Nigeria is the first paper we're looking at now. It says, worsening insecurity. Bandits kill Monarch, 4 others in Zamfara. District head among the victims and many others kidnapped. It's really a troubling situation in Zamfara state the last since the Yuletide. That's this Nigeria. Blueprint newspaper is next. Blueprint says resource location disputes. Oshibaju to broker truce among Kogi, Anambra, Rivers, and others. All right. Oshibaju to broker truce among Kogi, Anambra, Rivers, others. The federal government warns against politically motivated litigations. We need states' cooperation to define boundaries. The commission is saying this. And Buhari's resolution of Kogi Anambra oil wells controversy laudable. Okay, these are issues on the front burner. The Punch newspaper is next, and it says oil ownership. ACF backs Obasanjo. Pandef and INC Fume say constitution is fraudulent. ACF is the Arewa Constitutive Forum, and Pandef is the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, and the Ijaw National Congress is the INC. Amend the constitution if you are not pleased with Obasanjo's argument. ACF tells Clark Pandef a constitution flawed, imposed by military. Ex-president mischievous, says Pan-Niger Delta Forum. So it's been a back and forth. I remember we just talked about this just a few minutes ago. Daily Trust newspaper is next. How Villa Power tussle thwarted Buhari's CPSO's promotion service extension. Okay, documents show president approves extension, due process not followed, police commission. All of that back and forth on Daily Trust. First News is next, and it says on 2021, federal government worsened debt profile in 6 months. Borrowed 13.66 trillion naira. The facility secured via bonds and rising deficit financing, says report. Okay, all that's on the front page of the First News. Leadership newspaper is next, and it says retirees groan as states owe billions in pension arrears. Governors dancing on pensioners' graves, as the NUP is saying this. And Kaduna, Plateau, Lagos, Kwara, Anambra, Oyo, Niger up to date in payment. Dearth of funds are a major challenge. Defaulting states are saying this. Okay, federal government releases 16.67 billion naira for accrued 2021 pensions. And note the states that are doing well: Kaduna, Plateau, Lagos, Kwara State, Anambra State, Oyo State, and Niger. All right, from the reports on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. Right, now from there, let's go to the national economy. Despite loopholes, Buhari signs 2022 budget tomorrow. All right, despite loopholes, Buhari signs 2022 budget tomorrow. All right, Daily Independent is next, and it says agric experts foresee increased hunger in 2022. Experts foresee increased hunger in 2022. All right, these are all likely areas we'll be talking about when we open discussion shortly. All right, let's go to News Direct. News Direct is next, and it says Manufacturers Association of Nigeria advocacy visit federal government to review excise duties tariff on products, as Buhari promises access to long-term finances for SMEs. All right, and then Man to present blueprint on the first quarter in the first quarter of 2022. Right? That's the Manufacturers Association rather of Nigeria. Business Day outlook for 2022. Oil workers face job loss on IOC's divestment. That's Business Day. Okay, that's the last one we're looking at now. All right, let's take a look at these issues here. I like to, Dare, let's start with insecurity, and then we briefly, and then we talk about the plight of retirees and the pensioners in the country. Now, the last few days, from the report we've been hearing from Zamfara State, has continuously talked about the issue of killings by bandits and kidnappings that is going on there, and it's really troubling. At this time, we recall that before the Yuletide, the Inspector General of Police had given an order nationwide for security to be heightened and to be tightened across every part of the country, so that the Yuletide will not witness some of the untoward issues. What do you make of this?
The Yuletide, to me, usual time for police to talk tough. But the situation in Nigeria today is beyond the criminalities during festivities. It's a nationwide crisis. And sadly, very sadly for me, I think, we all are looking at reviews and outlooks as the year ends. I think one of my review for 2021 is the fact that this current administration under President Muhammadu Buhari is ending 2021 failing to resolve one of our greatest problems, insecurity. Today is 29th. There is nothing they will do that will change the hand of the clock.
No, today is 30th.
30th. It won't change. In spite of the clamor, in spite of it goes beyond just an agitation, the desire for security by Nigerians. Because in the last 2 years, we lived in a condition of warfare. We lived as if we or our country is at war. Nigerians clamored, agitated, pleaded. We tried all sorts of methods to make the people in authority realize that this is a basic necessity for us. From Zamfara to the southeast, down here in the southwest, northwest, northeast, there is hardly anywhere you find security. And now, for some time, we saw some form of improvement. But in the last 2 days again, I think I was speaking about this on Monday or so, and I was saying we could see some serious, improvement. But you could see how things turned around. We felt that Zamfara was heading towards normalcy. Suddenly, is it that we have found a way of always retreating when we make little gains? Or is it that there is some form of collaboration? We must begin to explore all possibilities. What is happening in Zamfara and in Katsina, in Kaduna, begs for serious answers to some questions. Monarchs now can no longer sit in their palace. Not only in Zamfara, even in the southeast. Monarchs have been whisked away and beheaded and killed. Look at what just happened in Zamfara again. A traditional ruler taken away just like that. Feared dead now, if not confirmed. For how long are we? I hope President Muhammadu Buhari and everybody working around him will realize that it will be a shame if we continue this way in 2022.
All right. Now, let me bring Ify Onyegbule into this discussion now. Ify, the point there is, if you watch or if you follow the reports that we've been receiving, it seems that Zamfara has been featuring very prominently and consistently in this whole insecurity issues. some people have linked these issues to the gold mines in Zamfara state. Others said it's just regular insecurity generally. But of course, we know that Zamfara is not alone. Zamfara is close to Kebbi state, it's close to Sokoto state, it's close to the other states there. But why Zamfara? So what do you make of all of these, though?
Just as Dare has said, it is something that is worthy of note. We need to take a look at what it is that's going on. I don't want to believe that anything should be tied to it. It is just as clear as it is. Some people just want to unleash mayhem on other people. We just can't continue to overflow the issues. There's nothing anyone can actually do. This is a day. You just have how many hours to the end of 2021. And I don't want to believe that the security operatives are saying, look, that they're going to do something about it this year. It's not going to work. It cannot happen. They need to begin to make plans about what it's going to be in the new year. That's in 2022. Because we can't continue to talk about it. This is the reason why it is happening. You have no reason to sack people from their homes. You have no reason to kill people. There is no justifiable reason why people cannot sleep with their two eyes closed. So I'm thinking we're stepping into a new year, God willing. They need to get back to the drawing board, think about what it is that they can do so that the peace and quiet that Nigeria is known for. I'm sure some people will be, goading or jeering at me to say, what kind of peace is she talking about? The peace and quiet that Nigeria's been known for, that is what it is that we're yearning. And when you're calling and mentioning the states in the north, look at what's happening in different parts of the country. You will understand that there is no place that you will say that there is peace in the country. That is literally. So something needs to be done as we step into the new year. I don't want to see us or hear us talking about this issue of insecurity as we step into January 2022. But I just don't want to believe it. Remember what it is when you take a look at the papers. When you look at the front pages of the papers in the new year, I'm just hoping that these let me not use the word on national TV. I don't want to believe that these people are planning some other things, but something needs to be done. We need peace. We need quiet. It's not everyone that's going to run away from Nigeria. For those who have decided to stay back in the country, peace is just what it is that we require.
I agree with you. No matter how bad things are, everybody cannot run away. We know people are relocating, but not everybody can leave. Everybody can leave. Even in our villages, where a lot of people are migrating from the villages into the urban, people will still remain where they are. But let's leave that now and talk about the issue of on the front page of a Daily Independent that talks about agri experts foreseeing increased hunger in 2022. Let's talk about that briefly. Dare, the point there is, if you look at the forecast and what they're seeing, the issue of climate change is there, which affects not just Nigeria, but across parts of the world. Then if we narrow it down to the issues of our peculiarity, security that we just talked about now is part of it. Recall that in parts of the north central and part of the north where lots and the chunk of agriculture is produced, they haven't been going to farms the way they were supposed to go to farms. And this has led to, the forecasters saying that there's going to be a lot of challenge in the coming year. What do you make?
Yeah, they are saying the obvious. Maybe what they mean is that it's going to get worse. Because the situation currently, food-wise, is terrible. I had I almost want to say misfortune of driving my wife to pick up groceries and stuffs yesterday. And I tell you, Mike, I was frightened. I was frightened in the sense that things that last year went for 1,000 naira now go for 3,000 naira, 3,500 naira. Food that we eat. Live chicken, 7,000 naira. The cheapest, if you want something reasonable, That's around the cheapest, 6,500, 7,000. Live chicken, that will driving down, you park somewhere in Onipan and said, process it for me. And you give them 1,500. And I'll take 2 home.
So somebody will say that's the good old days now.
But that's just
but that's just few years back.
Last year, the year before. I remember very well, just before COVID.
Yeah.
That was the in thing, because I had business around the post office there for a while. I just stop it, pick it up. But you find a situation where you have to pay 7,000
just for one chicken.
One chicken. Gary, frightening. The cost tripled. And every other thing like that. Don't talk about oil. Don't talk about some other ingredients that you take for granted. You know, the kind of thing you would tell people you can provide that. You won't dare. So the truth of, and I want to ask you, or ask Nigerians, when last did we really have any serious salary increase in this country? The truth is, people's salary are no longer at par.
The 30% increase, some of the states are not...
well, that's even in the public sector. We talk in this country as if those in the private sector aren't part of the same economy. Private sector didn't get increments. The market rates tripled. That's to already tell you that people can no longer afford to feed properly. Rents are still there. We are now talking about possible increase in fuel price.
And tariffs.
So
and
if
taxes.
we talk about possible hunger, we are understating the fact. It could get worse. The situation currently is such that Nigerians are struggling to feed. And what really are the causes? Insecurity is playing a major role. People can no longer go to farm, not just in the north. Here in the southwest, people are afraid to venture into the deep forest of where the big farms are located. Here in Lagos, a non-farmer in the Ikorodu area was going to his farm in the Mota-Agbo axis and was kidnapped. We hear in Oyo State, Professor Lorode was attacked right on his farm, killed. You have instances like that right here in the southwest. How much more in the northeast, where there is ongoing war or insurgents, or in the northwest, where bandits tell communities to pay taxes before they can harvest, not farm. Now you've done all the farming, it's time to harvest. And somebody will tell you, you can't go there unless you bring 3 million. And you look at the farm, all you will get after everything maybe is about 4 million. And somebody is going to take 3, and you are left with 1. You could decide to just say, look.
But for survival.
For survival, people stay. Then you talk about the rural-urban migration is also doing serious damage to farming. Don't talk about the change in climate and all that. You will discover that we are almost in for it. Except something drastic is done by the government, by donor agencies, by other organizations to turn around, to turn the wheel. Feeding will probably be the worst menace that happened to Nigerians next year.
All right, let me bring Ify here. Honorable Ify, the point there is, sometimes when we talk about this realities and challenges, for some people who have the wherewithal, may not see it from the same perspective of reality as it is. But what do you see from all of these analyses that Dare has put forth, talking about the issue of climate change, talking about the issue of insecurity, talking about the issue of rural-urban migration? Youth these days, a lot of people are not necessarily as interested in agriculture the way they used to be, and everyone wants a white-collar job. We've analyzed this thing even right from elementary agriculture. What do you make going into 2022? How it's going to look like?
Yeah, let me start from the idea that not many who have the wherewithal, as you put it, that they're not going to see it from the same perspective. And I dare say that that's not true, because one rich man in a community of 100 or 200 poor persons, you're still a poor person. That's the truth. They will never ever let you be. There will always be someone at your gate who's waiting to beg you for food. So whether we like it or not, the rich, they're also crying at this moment. Things have gone so bad. I am so afraid for where it is that Nigeria is going. People now stay on the road, they snatch bags, they snatch phones, not because they want to do that. They go to sell those things, but not as much as you bought those materials. They just sell them because they want to eat. Things are getting bad. You've just talked about the Nigerian youth, some of them not wanting to go into agriculture. What is it that the government has actually done to support those people or to encourage them to go into farming? Let me share with you, years ago, I visited Ghana, and they had this wonderful festival or celebration that they put together. I asked the question, what's going on? This is so much. It's like Christmas to them. And they said to me, we're celebrating the farmers who put food on our table. I was so excited. It looked wonderful to me. But how have we ever thought about the fact that people who put food on our tables in Nigeria should be celebrated? There were gifts that people had to wait. Somebody won a tractor, someone got a house. These people were encouraged, you know, and I'm sure they will always want to be in their farms. But what are you doing here in Nigeria? The atmosphere is not conducive for that young person to go into farming. I know so many persons who would want to go into farming. There are people who have taken it upon themselves. I see young persons who celebrate themselves on social media and what it is that they're doing in their various farms. But what is it that government has actually done? You find that some financial institutions get to support them with little loans here and there. What is the job of government? Is it just to go there to fix salaries for yourself and find a way to get all the perks of office when the people are suffering? What Dare has explained is just the tip of the iceberg. For those who go to the market, it is no longer what it used to be. How much is the 12.5 kg of gas, you know, cylinder of gas as it is? For those who buy it, you have an idea what it is. Those who have the 50 kg, you have an idea what it is. How much is petrol as we speak? But the people who bear this brunt, who suffer it, are the common men who go day in, night out on public transport. It is sad where it is we're going. So that report of saying that there's going to be increased hunger, I am happy that they've accepted that there's hunger in the land. Hey, come on, guys. I haven't had breakfast this morning. And you understand what this is about. You understand what this is about. So we truly need to wake up to the reality. It is bad. We need to deal with it. 2022 is just a few hours away. What are we doing? That's the question we should be asking ourselves.
All right. Now, Dare, the issue of what we need to do and how we need to do it, that roadmap. So sometimes, of course, government will say we're doing all that we can, and actually they are doing all that they can within their powers, but whether it translates to the solutions Nigerians want to see is totally a different thing. Recall the last few years. There were moves by the former Minister of Agriculture. They told Nigerians about the exportation of even yams, exportation of different things. Okay, we are now sufficient in rice. We're exporting all of those now. But we can't see all of those things anymore.
It's because we don't continue with anything in Nigeria. For every change in government is a change in everything. Policy, programs, we change. We don't consider whether this is good, whether the people are enjoying this. We just want to start afresh. We are always in a hurry to start afresh. Way back, you keep hearing operation this, operation that, especially as it regards agriculture. But one question I keep asking year in, year out is, where are all these operations leading us? Because after feeding the nation, you move to Mamsa, you don't find them really on ground. That's the federal government. Go to the states. This is a project on rice, project on cassava, cassava bread, maize this. After a while, all these things are, they're gone. We are not consistent with anything. We pay lip service to agriculture in this country, and then we are gradually coming home to pay for it. We're coming home to pay for it. Give support to farmers. Fertilizer scam is one of the greatest scams that has ever been in this country, and it's still ongoing. Subsidy on fertilizer, nobody is talking about it. It's still ongoing. But do the farmers get these things subsidized? The answer is no. Some people go pack all the subsidized fertilizers, store them somewhere, and sell to the farmers at ridiculous amounts. So nothing gets done. Those who want to go into farming don't really talk about tractors, talk about plows and other farm machines that government bring in with public money.
Yeah.
They get rented to the farmers at terrible amounts instead of being taken to them as assistance. Some people somewhere feed from these things instead of helping our agricultural progress.
All right.
And until we address this, we really aren't going anywhere.
All right. So these are some of the challenges government needs to handle going into the next year. Thank you so much. We have to leave you here now. Thank you, Dare, for coming on the program. Thank you. And Honorable Ify Onyegbule, thank you very much for your insight into this as well.
Thank you for having me, and have a wonderful day, gentlemen.
And you too. Thank you. I believe in your kitchen. Something is going on there already. So there's no fear that you've not taken breakfast.
No, not to worry.
It's all right.
I'm watching my weight. I'll have breakfast this morning, but then there's hunger in the land, and we must deal with it.
We'll visit you soon so we can take something too.